Now, I've noticed that I often start the notes with alrighty now or something to that effect. And I'd like to change that. So if anybody can suggest to me a good opening word for the notes. Here we go. Okay. Do I say that sometimes? I say here we go. I say alrighty now. I say weird things, but yeah. So if anybody can think of a good starter for the notes, then I can change that. What was yours? What was yours, Sonny? It's no time. Oh, okay. It's no time. Because I keep getting these people subscribed to my YouTubes that I don't know. And I just, sometimes I feel a little embarrassed that they're listening to me say alrighty now at the beginning of every one of my videos. Well, no, I can tell by the subscriptions that they don't, and I'll go and I'll look at their sites and it looks weird. So every once in a while I get somebody that I really don't know why they're just subscribing to my notes. We are doing appreciation and depreciation. We're going to start chapter 8 where we get to do exponential functions and something that everybody loves called logarithms. So if you've ever taken this class before, you remember the dreaded logarithms. And so we'll get there, but we don't have to do logarithms today. But today we're just going to do appreciation and depreciation. So let me see. So appreciation, in financial terms, it means that I am going to gain in value. And depreciation, pardon me? Yeah, this is chapter 8. And it's not quite the first lesson in chapter 8. We'll do that tomorrow, but this will relate to the first half of the chapter. Depreciation means that I lose value. So let's say you bought, at a garage sale, you bought a painting that you really liked. And then 10 years later, you took it to the Antiques Roadshow when they came to town. And lo and behold, your $100 painting is now worth $100,000. That painting has appreciated. Do you even know what the Antiques Roadshow is? Okay, a few of you are old enough to know about the Antiques Roadshow. Your grandparents probably watch it. Yes. Anyway, I like Antiques Roadshow. It's interesting. Anyway, so that would be an appreciation. That would be a gain in value. Now, say on the other hand, you went out and bought a video game. And you played it, and it didn't quite work well anymore, and you were going to sell it off to your friend. Well, there's no way you could sell it to your friend for the amount you paid for it. Once that video game left the store, the GameStop or whatever, it lost its value. You might be able to sell it to your friend for half of what you paid for it, but definitely not more. So that video game's value has depreciated. So we'll look at an example of appreciation and depreciation. First, let's look at the appreciation where we're going to buy your valuable painting for $100. And it's going to go up in value through the years because it's by some famous artist or something. And let's say that it appreciates. And when we do appreciation and depreciation in exponential functions, we're going to appreciate and depreciate by percentage amounts. So we'll say that this appreciates by 10% per year. So 10% of each year it's going to compound. So I'll make a little XY table. Whoops, that's not how I wanted to do it. I'll make a little XY table, an input-output table. My input will be how many years you've owned this thing, and my output will be its value. So you buy it in year 0, and it's worth $100 because that's how much you paid for it. It's going to appreciate by 10% per year. So the value a year later is going to be the original $100 plus 10% of the $100, which happens to be, what's 10% of $100? 10. So what's 100 plus 10? 110. It's now worth $110. After 2 years, it'll be worth the $110 plus another 10%. What is 10% of $110? So now I'm going to take 110 and I'm going to add 11 to that and get 121. Is my addition right so far? Okay. After 3 years, it'll be worth $121 plus it has gain in value another 10% of that 121. What's 10% of 121? $12.10. So I got to add $12.10 to 121. So that's 132.10. 133. 2 plus 1 is 3. Thank you. $133.10. My 4th year, it'll be $133.10 plus 10% of $133.10. 10% of $133.10 is $13.31 for $146.41. In 4 years, you now have something that is a value of $146.41. $46.41 better than what you bought it for. You have made money without doing anything. Ooh, we like that. Okay. So I can figure out these values by doing these one at a time by adding 10% of the previous value each time. But let's see if I can change this addition to a little simpler arithmetic. So let's say on year 1 I had the value, or on year X, sorry, I have the value of the previous year. No, I'm not on year X. I'm on year something. We're going up to n's. But anyway, on year N, I have the previous value was $100. I'm sorry, was X bucks. Jeez. Nope, I'm just chatting. And then I add on to that 10% of that price. Can you write that a little bit easier than X plus 10% of X? Raquel, will you go to your seat, please? Okay. How can I rewrite X plus 10% of X? Yeah, that is 1.1 or 1.10x. Alright, so I could do this addition problem, or I could just multiply each previous value times 1.10. So my multiplier is 1.10. Okay, now let's depreciate. Let's buy that video game for $100. And we're going to depreciate 10% per year. So I've got an XY table.